Travelers are feeling nervous as Air Canada starts canceling flights.
I did sleep not that good this night because I was wondering how we can go on.
The clock ticks down on a strike by flight attendants.
It's simply not the kind of system that we can start or stop at the push of a button.
Plus, the location of Calgary's mandatory drug treatment centre has neighbours pushing back.
We haven't been looped in, and we feel like we're in the dark.
Already 5 lockups nearby. Residents say they want to know more about the next one. And a blanket bear warning in place for all of K-Country and the Bow Valley.
I have not heard about that.
Getting the word out to hikers to reduce encounters.
And we carry bear spray when we're out on the trail as well.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello and thank you for joining us. Start looking for options if you have plans to fly Air Canada over the next few days. Talks are at an impasse and some 10,000 flight attendants have voted to strike. The national airline began the gradual suspension of flights, a dozen by tonight, 500 by tomorrow, and by Saturday, 1 a.m., a complete grounding of all flights. Here's Sean Leathong.
Storming in on their employer, about 24 Air Canada flight attendants picket inside a news conference that was organized by the airline.
We want to be seen, we want to be heard, we want to be valued for the work that we do.
Members stand holding signs accusing Air Canada of forcing unpaid work. This as the airline begins canceling flights, winding down operations towards a total shutdown.
It's simply not the kind of system that we can start or stop at the push of a button.
At the start of the day, Air Canada leadership outlined what the shutdown would look like. It includes several dozen cancellations Thursday, around 500 cancellations on Friday, with all flights grounded by Saturday if a deal is not reached in time. The airline saying all canceled flights will be offered a refund as they try to rebook for those who are stranded, but seats are limited.
And it looks like we're going to have to pay out of pocket probably about $900 for a new flight.
We are extremely disappointed by CUPE's decision, which threatens to disrupt the travel plans of more than 130,000 customers a day.
The airline saying their latest offer, a 38% raise, including benefits, that would make Air Canada the best compensated flight attendants in the country.
One of the lowest rates.
Bargaining team member Natasha Steya says the airline isn't being truthful.
We are not the highest paid, and with the increase that they're proposing, we still would not be the highest paid.
As both sides argue over compensation and what the union is calling unpaid work, at this point, there's little either side can agree on.
We have been at the table, sitting and waiting. We've been talking with the conciliators. We've been there. But the employer, they left.
We never left the table. We are engaged throughout the entire process.
Sean Leathong, CTV News.
So many passengers at Calgary's airport are bracing, of course, in case they have to change their travel plans. Tyler Barrow is there tonight. So, Tyler, what are you hearing?
Tara, so far no flights out of here have been canceled just yet. Now, passengers flying out of Calgary on a flight impacted will receive a notice of flight change in their status if their flight is impacted. Now, after speaking with a couple different travelers, there's a few different approaches to how to handle the looming flight attendant strike. While for some, some are worried, and others, well, they're just going with the hand they're dealt. Some Air Canada passengers eager to get away are planning ahead amid flight cancellations in other cities. Summer Joy is en route home to Amsterdam, but she's not worried.
You just take it as it comes. If there's any problem, I'm sure it'll be fine.
This German traveler and his family are ending their stay in Calgary a day early, departing Friday instead of Saturday for the next leg of their holiday on Vancouver Island.
We thought maybe going earlier, and that means then one day we don't know where to sleep, whatever.
All flights would be grounded by Saturday if a deal is not reached in time. Already, international flights such as Vancouver to Sydney have been cancelled.
What Air Canada is doing is cancelling long-haul flights that don't have the return flight, bringing the aircraft home by tomorrow night.
Passengers will be notified if their flight is cancelled. Air Canada says it's rebooking passengers on other airlines. Those unable to rebook will be offered a full refund or a new ticket for a later date.
This strike won't last more than, I'd say 5 days at best, 7 days max.
The Calgary Chamber of Commerce is calling for both parties to get back to the bargaining table, and if a deal cannot be reached, is asking for the federal government to intervene.
This comes at a time when Canadian businesses and consumers have very little leeway.
Many are hoping WestJet will help fill the void. In a statement, WestJet said it is monitoring the status of contract negotiations between Air Canada and Canadian Union of Public Employees, and where there is an uncontrollable impact to Canadian air travel, WestJet will support Canadians wherever possible. Tyler Barrows, CTV News, Calgary.
Air Canada has asked the federal government to step in and force mediation. Labour Minister Patty Hajdu says the union has requested until noon Friday to decide whether it wants to enter binding arbitration, and she has granted that request. A lot of WestJet customers have contacted CTV News regarding emails they have received about a cybersecurity breach. Customers are a little worried about the authenticity of those emails, but WestJet tells us the emails are legitimate and they contain some important information. The emails advise customers their personal information may have been compromised during an incident in June. The airline says a sophisticated criminal third party accessed its systems, and the culprits may have obtained names, email addresses, mailing addresses, phone numbers, travel history, or even passport information. The email offers free identity theft monitoring for 2 years from TransUnion Canada. If you get this email, you can double check all the information at westjet.com/cyberinfo. Calgary police say a man who was stabbed near the drop-in centre last month has died from his injuries. The man was stabbed on July 24th near the drop-in centre. Police say the victim, 37-year-old Gurdeep Mundy, was taken to hospital in life-threatening condition. He died of his injuries yesterday. 2 men were arrested nearby and were charged with aggravated assault and robbery. Police are also looking for footage from that night at the corner of Riverfront Avenue and 4th Street Southeast between 8:30 and 9 p.m. The province is looking to build an involuntary addictions treatment facility in a Calgary neighborhood, already home to numerous secure facilities. People who live nearby don't like the plan, saying there was little public consultation. Here's Stephanie Thomas.
Kristen Boychuk moved to Royal Oak from Vancouver last year with her young family. They accepted how close their new home is to facilities like the Calgary Remand Centre, the Calgary Correction Centre, and the Youth Offender Centre.
You'll hear helicopters every once in a while from while they're searching for somebody who's escaped one of the lockups.
But she says she and her new neighbours have been left out of the loop about a new involuntary drug addiction treatment centre.
It's the lack of public consultation for it. That's the biggest concern for all of us because we have so many questions.
The province is calling it the Southern Alberta Compassionate Intervention Centre. The province wants to build it in Spy Hill near Country Hills Boulevard. At a price tag of $180 million, patients would be restricted to the 150-bed facility under guard of protected services. It builds off the government's Alberta recovery model that emphasizes abstinence from harmful substances in the wake of the opioid epidemic. Opponents of the involuntary care model say the location is telling.
If the Alberta government wanted to remind everybody that these facilities are essentially prisons, they've certainly succeeded at that.
Similar concerns are being raised by professors at the University of Calgary.
We know in our institutions that substances are available. There's many ways that people bring substances in.
The other critique is, of course, that compelling people to undergo treatment raises issues, for example, under the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms.
In a statement to CTV News, the province says many jurisdictions have experienced positive outcomes with varying models of mandatory treatment. There is not enough evidence to back the claim that mandatory treatment does not work. We are committed to an ongoing review of compassionate intervention.
And Stephanie joins us tonight from Spy Hill. So, Stephanie, how soon could this facility be built?
Tara, the Mental Health and Addictions Ministry says that it will not sit back and it wants to get moving on its Alberta recovery model. Now, it is seeking bids right now from the private sector to design and build the facility, and it hopes to have shovels in the ground at some point in 2026. Now, opponents likely face an uphill battle. The legal expert I interviewed for the story we just aired says that it's not likely that there would be a Charter of Rights and Freedoms court challenge brought until there is a plaintiff. And of course, that wouldn't happen until the centre is up and running. Tara.
Okay, Stephanie Thomas reporting. Stephanie, thank you. Calgary firefighters are again sounding the alarm about a long-delayed fire hall in Englewood. Despite being planned for years, the project is on pause as the city looks for a partner. Meanwhile, the city grows and call volumes increase. Jordan Canagan reports.
A sign promising a new fire hall in Englewood is so dated it's overgrown. Planning for the mixed-use station is again on pause.
And we need the tools and resources to do our job.
The Calgary Firefighters Association is urging the city to move ahead with the inner city hub. Money has been set aside and the city has owned the land at the corner of 11th Avenue and 12th Street Southeast for more than 15 years.
We have been working with a private developer to advance the project. They're owning the housing component while we were looking at the fire component. And really some complexities in how the deal was structured limited their ability to move forward.
City planners want to build a fire hall with retail at ground level and housing above. The idea isn't new, and Calgary has recently opened other mixed-use stations, but those were all delivered by the city itself. Searching for a private partner in Englewood is dragging the concept along.
This hall has been tied up in bureaucracy for upwards of 15 years. Seconds matter, and we need that critical piece of infrastructure inside the center of the city. We're adding 100,000 residents to Calgary every single year.
Englewood is served by the downtown fire hall. The Firefighters Union points to last year's blaze at the Old Beautiful tap room as an example of the need for a quick response. The location of the delayed fire hall is right across the street.
So when we're pulling valuable resources from the downtown area to service that community, when there should be a fire hall in that community.
Jordan Canigan, CTV News, Calgary.
City officials say alternative plans for the fire hall will be presented to councillors by the end of the year. A Calgary group has filed an appeal challenging the city's blanket rezoning bylaw. The grassroots coalition, called Calgarians for Thoughtful Growth, filed a judicial review against citywide rezoning earlier this year. The group lost the decision and is now appealing to the Court of Appeal. There is no date for a possible hearing.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
With this sunshine, you might be itching to get outside for a hike, but heads up, Alberta Parks has issued a bear warning for the entirety of Kananaskis country and the Bow Valley. That's where Terry Fikowski spent the day. So Terry, what should people know before they hit the trails?
Well, bear warnings for anyone who ventures into the mountains is nothing new, but a blanket warning in all of K Country and the Bow Valley certainly is. The last time Alberta Parks issued an advisory like that for the area was 2016. And now they're urging visitors and anyone in the area who ventures out to be sure that they pack bear spray and be extra bear aware. It's a stunning scenery that attracts thousands outdoors, many hopeful to spot wildlife from afar.
You saw a grizzly on the road, crazy, like pretty scary. We were in the car, so we felt safe. If you saw that on a trail, it would be a different story.
But there have been so many recent bear sightings and close encounters with both grizzly and black bears that it has warranted a blanket warning for all of K Country and the Bow Valley.
We often will issue warnings for smaller areas. And we had been over the last few weeks, but we're just realizing that, man, these bears are everywhere and they're moving around a lot. So we've gone with the whole Kananaskis-wide advisory.
It's thanks to buffalo berry season, with an abundance along trails and campgrounds in the valley bottom. Regular rain this summer has created a perfect patch. And where there are berries, there are bears. Lots of them.
The number of grizzly bears that we're seeing is somewhat astonishing. We have a suite of bears that we regularly see and interact with, but we're all of a sudden we're seeing new bears. We have no idea where they've come from.
People are urged to be prepared for a bear anywhere, even the busy trails. Like, do you guys carry bear spray and things like that?
It's expensive, so we didn't buy one, but we just assumed there's not going to be any bears. So
it's something Kim Titchener, the founder of Bear Safety and More, hears too often.
People don't read signs. They may not catch the news. It might not be in their language, so they don't know what's going on. We're near the front nozzle. You're going to pull that.
She says it's crucial people carry bear spray and know how to use it.
And aim down and point. It's a big wake-up call. Always take it as a bear. It's always bear safety season.
The warning is worrisome for some, but parking lots at popular trails remain packed.
Hopefully talking a lot, which we have lots of kids.
Make a lot of noise, and we're in their territory.
We have such a short summer, and this year it's even worse, so might as well go enjoy, right?
With a reminder to wander wisely in bear country. Terry Fikowski, CTV News in Kananaskis.
Now, in addition to the bear spray, you're encouraged to make a lot of noise on trails. Look out for signs of wildlife like scat. Keep your dog on a leash and check closures and warnings before you go. Last month's hailstorm that swept through Calgary caused more than $90 million in insured damages. According to the Insurance Bureau of Canada, 65% of claims came from vehicle damage. The Bureau says the province has seen at least one major hailstorm every year for the past 2 decades, and the past 5 years of storms have cost $6 billion in damage. The Northern Hail Project also documented the damage from the storm from Royal Oak in the northwest to the south of Chestermere Lake. Well, if you're craving a tasty treat tonight and want to make a difference in your community, you might want to head to Dairy Queen. It's Dairy Queen Miracle Treat Day in support of the Alberta Children's Hospital. Net proceeds from every blizzard sold in Canada go to local children's hospitals. The annual event is especially meaningful for Chloe Mueller. She's the daughter of the Shaughnessy DQ owners and has benefited immensely from the Children's Hospital.
When I was 16 years old, I had bacterial meningitis, and I had to get to a craniotomy, which is like brain surgery.
We do it because, number one, the communities do so much for Dairy Queen and for our Dairy Queen franchisees and crew members, and we want to give back to the communities. And there's no better way than to give back to those that support us, and those are families with kids.
Money raised goes to equipment, research, and uncompensated care. Dairy Queen has raised more than $8 million in southern Alberta in the last 23 years that the event has been held. A judge has denied an application to quash a review of a proposed Alberta referendum question on separation. The judge says a full hearing benefits democracy. We'll tell you why. And a men's soccer game erupts in violence. Fists fly in front of families and children. We're back in 1 minute. If you have a news tip anytime, you can text us at 10400. The Alberta Prosperity Project will have to wait a little longer before it can start gathering signatures from supporters. A judge has ruled a review of the separatist group's potential referendum question can go ahead. Organizers want to ask if Alberta should become a sovereign country and cease to be a province in Canada. The province's chief electoral officer referred that question to an Alberta judge last month to determine whether it violates the Constitution. An application was made to quash that review. Today, King's Bench Justice Colin Feasby ruled a hearing would benefit democracy and it must happen first.
You know, this whole hearing process seems to be asking the question, is asking a question to amend the Constitution in and of itself unconstitutional, which is, to me, a pretty remarkable position.
It's a great reaffirmation of the fact that the process actually works. We have always followed this process, and that is why Elections Alberta has approved our petition, and separatists are having these hurdles that they have to overcome.
A group led by former Alberta Premier Thomas Lukaszuk has had its pro-Confederation question approved by Elections Alberta. The petition to make it an official referendum question is now underway. The group has until the end of October to collect nearly 300,000 signatures. A UCP MLA has made a proposal to redraw the electoral map in Lethbridge. Nathan Neudorf wants the Electoral Boundaries Commission to consider dividing the city's 2 ridings into 3 or even 4. That redistribution would include outlying rural communities. Neudorf claims the changes would strengthen advocacy for both rural and urban residents while supporting the province's goal of responsible economic growth. Opponents see it as a way to dilute NDP voters in Lethbridge by adding more rural voters who historically tend to vote for the UCP.
This is gerrymandering in its most blatant form. To split a municipality of our size into 4 and add in a bunch of rural municipalities, it's ridiculous, just thinking about it.
Neudorf's proposal is one of the 197 submissions to the Electoral Boundaries Commission.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
Let's bring Daniela now as we get a peek at our 5-day forecast. It wasn't so bad today. It wasn't hot, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, it was on the chillier side for sure, but a lot of people maybe like the relief from the heat. We do have a little bit of heat in that longer range forecast if you're looking for that too. All right, 16 degrees is the temperature at the airport right now. Winds calm, fairly calm. Anyway, at this point, we certainly have a lot of cloud cover. We talked about the cloud cover being out there for today. Okay, looking at those next 24 hours, it will still be cool through the evening, through the overnight, and tomorrow morning. And even overnight tonight and through the early hours of tomorrow, we have the potential some showers, absolutely. So don't be surprised to see some rainfall. The cloud cover will stick around for much of the day, but there should be some sun peeking out at times in the afternoon, and we'll get to a high of 21 degrees. So we are looking at some warmth kicking in. Just look at that bigger picture here, and just to explain, so in the southeast corner, it was quite hot yesterday. We got to 35 degrees in Medicine Hat yesterday. Lethbridge at this time yesterday was around 32 degrees. And now we're at 20 in Medicine Hat, 19 in Lethbridge. So absolutely, overall, the entire province has cooled down for today, but will start to rise back up in temperature tomorrow. This is a high pressure building in, but it's more of a dirty high. So that means some cloud cover will be creeping in. And we're looking at showers possible as well, but overall it should be fairly stable, and we're not looking at any sort of really active thunderstorm activity, and temperatures will slowly climb. So here's a look at the cloud cover that's in place right now in many communities, Calgary included in that. Here's a look at this ridge of high pressure that will start to build in and be around for the weekend, but it will take some time for it to really strengthen and those clouds to really clear out. So we won't see a lot of sunshine until about late Saturday and through Sunday. Okay, checking out the rest of this evening, just some cloud cover here and there. For tomorrow, we're looking at rain along the QE2. Some of that will likely peek into Calgary in the morning hours as well. So some showers certainly possible throughout Friday morning, tomorrow morning. And then we will likely see some sunny breaks in the afternoon. Really, the same pattern continues for Saturday. Saturday morning, good chance of showers, certainly some cloud cover with the sun peeking out in the afternoon. But Sunday should be all sunshine as this ridge really strengthens and the clouds shift up to the north. Okay, here's your action furnace 5-day forecast. 21 degrees for tomorrow, so an improvement in temperature, and then 24 for Saturday. Again, AM showers, and we're looking at the sun arriving in the afternoon hours. Then by Sunday, a whole lot of sunshine. By then, we'll be in those mid-20s.
A violent soccer brawl in Edmonton is being reviewed by league officials. Several fights broke out on a high school field Tuesday night. The game featured two men's teams in the Edmonton and District Soccer Association. Video was captured by bystanders. At one point, someone grabs a corner flagpole and swings it at others. Another person delivers a flying kick. The Soccer Association says there is no place in the sporting community for this kind of behavior, and it is conducting a comprehensive review. Police say they are not investigating. Still to come, a plan to get more help for women struggling with addiction. The ambitious goal to raise funds for a new facility and more beds to help those who desperately need an escape plan. And the Irish gift of the gab on full display when a legendary golfer from the Emerald Isle arrives in Calgary. Stay with us. Women with addictions are waiting weeks for treatment beds in Calgary, and one program says demand is only increasing. The shortage of spaces leaves many without the support they desperately need. Marfolani has more on how this recovery centre is helping turn lives around amid the ongoing opioid crisis.
For Michaela Smith, asking for help was the first step to recovery.
It was pivotal for me to have this place, a place to heal.
Smith struggled with years of addiction to alcohol, but after graduating from the Recovery Acres Calgary Society, she's living a life with stronger connections to her husband and her 4 children.
This is where the walls come down. This is where the real magic happens.
Now working in peer support at the facility, she hopes to help others struggling with substance use. But there aren't enough recovery beds to go around for women like her.
Women are dying, men are dying. But the women's program we're suffering, right? There's not enough beds.
We had 8 beds available and over 50 women on our wait list for those 8 beds. We've now asked for help. That's the first step. but now you have to wait 2 months in order to access help. That can be very discouraging.
It's why Recovery Acres is hosting its 28th annual charity tournaments at Wintergreen Golf Course on Monday. The hope is to raise funds for a new 26-bed women's facility where clients can get the supports and space they desperately need.
You're not alone, but you have to reach out. And that's the hardest thing. Sometimes that phone weighs 4,000 pounds, right? But if you reach out, someone will answer.
The need comes as Alberta had a record-breaking 1,873 opioid-related deaths in 2023. Those numbers declined significantly last year, but the trend isn't flattening in the first quarter of 2025. More than just numbers, these are real people, and having a space to recover could be the difference in saving a life.
Addiction keeps us lonely. And in recovery, we find community.
Mark Villani, CTV News, Calgary.
For more information on how to donate or to get involved with the upcoming fundraiser, you can visit our CTV Calgary website. 12 dino statues in Drumheller need repairs, and a local volunteer group says they may not be able to repair them all this year. The Dino Arts Association is made up of about a dozen volunteers who assess and repair damage to the 32 dinosaur statues across the city. It says an average repair takes 3 or 4 days. Some of the statues are more than 60 years old.
You know, we're just plugging away at a project that began many years ago, and they've become an important part of our community, people, especially kids, and really it's about the kids, because they're the ones who gain the most appreciation.
The group relies on community donations and funds from its coin-crushing machine. The Drumheller Chamber of Commerce matches each donation. If a dinosaur is considered beyond repair and it's time to go extinct, the group has permission to replace it. A new statue, though, costs about $15,000. Well, how familiar do you think you are with Canada's city names? Blue Jays players put themselves to the test, and they discovered there's a lot they don't know about communities outside of Toronto. A tourist from Ireland who just happens to also be an avid golfer herself is having a fantastic visit to Calgary. She volunteered to work the Rogers Charity Classic on a whim and got to meet one of the biggest golfers from back home.
Very good. Well, it was cold. It was like home this morning, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was a little
freezing.
bit chilly, all right. And then yesterday, then the lightning and the thunder and lightning yesterday evening was a bit bad, all right.
I know.
That's Darren Clark. He's a professional golfer from Northern Ireland. Miriam Matthews lives in the south of Ireland. She's a huge golf fan. She was thrilled to meet Clark. She's marshalling hole 9 at the Canyon Meadows Golf and Country Club this week. It's a job she signed up for just to fill a little time while house and dog sitting in Calgary.
Usually this spontaneous just to see this and do it?
If you ask any of my friends, they'll say I am, yeah. Yeah, I suppose we're Irish, so we're known for the gift of the gab, as we say in Ireland, I suppose. So, yeah, look, we're all human beings, so we all chat, I suppose, as well. So, and if you don't chat to people, you won't have experiences.
Matthew flies back to Ireland Saturday, where she regularly plays 18 holes on her own local course. She loved our city. She loved the mountains. But she reminded us, Glenn, that in Ireland, you can golf year-round.
Yes, you can.
None of this winter stuff. Yeah, she said this is great, but...
She will meet Padraig Harrington as well.
Awesome.
He wasn't there quite yet, so yeah.
Oh, that's very good. She's having a great time. All right, we're kicking trending off with a very cute attempt at coordination.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. So close, wrong finger, but you got the right idea.
Close, but not quite. This is Caden. He's uncle to his little nephew, trying to teach him how to do a thumbs up. He's having no success, no matter how hard he tries. He cannot get the right digits to deliver the gesture.
Oh, but look how cute he is.
And once he gets it, there, Caden,
That's
there
right.
you go, right? Yeah.
Very cute. Well, this little guy picks things up a whole lot faster. That's the copycat trying to get their owner's attention. The kitty takes the pup's lead. He realizes you got to jump up and down if you want let inside. The cat's like, oh, okay, I didn't realize that's what we had to do. I'm in.
Looks like the kitty had a little trouble jumping up there.
Yeah. Kitty's carrying a few more pounds, Glenn. Don't shame him.
No, I'm not. I mean, you know.
Well, finally, the Toronto Blue Jays might be Canada's team, but not many of the players are actually Canadian. The team decided to have a little fun with them, getting them to try to pronounce Canadian places.
Trois-Rivières.
Got it right, yeah. Good.
Oui,
Yeah,
je
good.
parle un petit peu français. Trois-Rivières. Etobicoke or Etobicoke? I know it's not that, but
Etobicoke. Is that right? Etobicoke.
Etobicoke. Etobicoke.
Tisang Wasing. Tisang Wasing.
Sawasen.
Sawasen. Yep. Tawasen. How's the S silent there?
Good.
That one really threw them. They're like, what? I don't understand which of the letters is Tawasen or silent. There's so many of them. I guess if you were coming at some of these names without any familiarity and maybe never having heard them spoken,
Right.
this would be a little hard.
Same as if we went down to the States, I'm sure we'd
Absolutely.
have trouble there too, right?
And even if you've been there, sometimes it's still hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. They gave it a good try. Wildfires are intensifying on both coasts tonight. In Newfoundland and Labrador, homes have been destroyed, but it's not even clear how many because of the blinding smoke. That story is still ahead.
All right, here's your Skywatch weather camera. We sure have a good amount of cloud cover today, as we talked about for the forecast. And we even have a little bit of rain in the forecast. And I will say before I even get to those details, if there was ever a good reason to eat sugar, this would be it, because it's Dairy Queen Miracle Treat Day, and the proceeds go to support the Alberta Children's Hospital. And I've been eating this, but I'm not gonna eat it right now. I'm gonna save the rest for later so I can get through this forecast for you. 16 degrees is the current temperature, and also today's daytime high. The norm is 23 degrees, so yeah, we are below normal. And this cold air has filtered in through the entire province, as you can see here. So we are going to rebound tomorrow, but not by a whole lot. You'll notice a bit of a difference. We have a bit of a ridge of high pressure that's building in. It's going to take some time for it to strengthen, so we're not going to see a whole big day full of sunshine until Sunday. We have even a little bit of rainfall in the forecast as well for tonight and for tomorrow morning. By the afternoon, though, you'll notice the sun peeking out at times. That should get us to a high of 21. That's your Action Furnace 24-hour forecast. Fixed right or it's free. Okay, Salmon Arm looking at 19 for tomorrow. Kamloops 22. Edmonton still just 14, so still cool for central Alberta, but in the south we're going to start to climb back into those 20s again with a few showers. 21 for Calgary, 23 for Drumheller, 27 for Lethbridge, 28 for Medicine Hat. Again, we are looking at a good amount of cloud cover for tomorrow as well. Tara?
Thank you, Danielle. Air Canada has started the process of cancelling hundreds of flights. Talks between the company and the union representing flight attendants are at an impasse. No flights have been cancelled in Calgary just yet. A 37-year-old man who was stabbed and robbed near the drop-in centre 3 weeks ago has now died. 2 men are in custody. The province wants to build an involuntary addictions treatment facility in Spy Hill in the northwest. Some nearby residents say there's a lack of public consultation. The Alberta Next panel is holding its third town hall this evening, focusing on a wide range of topics. A forum is going on in Edmonton. Premier Daniel Smith has said one of the reasons for creating the panel is to address concerns regarding separatism. The town hall agenda looks at a total of 6 different policy ideas. Those include pulling out of the Canada Pension Plan and creating a provincial police force to replace the RCMP. About 100 homes and structures have been damaged in the fire raging on the north shore of Newfoundland's Conception Bay. But Premier John Hogan says it's still far too dangerous to send crews underneath that smoke for a better count. That means as many as 3,000 evacuees are still wondering if their homes have been lost. Here's Garrett Berry.
The wait for answers has been excruciating, especially considering just how long some of these evacuees have been out of their homes.
When I start to do an inventory, I kind of shut down. Like everything precious, every single item precious to me in my life is in Western Bay.
Tanya Kearley-Russell fled her place in Western Bay 10 days ago with whatever she and her husband could fit inside these 2 vehicles. Now she's in St. John's, but everything else is back at that property, underneath the smoke and the flame from the Kingston wildfire.
Everything that we want important to us in our lives is under that roof.
One area town council did report a preliminary count today of what dwellings have been lost. It includes a heritage schoolhouse. But officials say it's too dangerous to ask anyone to go inside the smoke for a fuller count.
Once these fires are out, and they will be out, and we get into the communities to see what's left and what's gone, we'll work with every individual, every family, every business, every mayor to see how we can rebuild the communities.
There was some good news today. These clouds above us bringing more humidity, even some rain over parts of the province. Both much needed help for firefighters. Garrett Berry, CTV News, St. John's.
A wildfire continues to burn out of control on Vancouver Island. It's about 12 kilometers south of Port Alberni, and it has grown to more than 34 square kilometers. Hundreds of properties remain under evacuation order and alert. A power outage has cut off more than 500 homes and businesses. Crews cannot work to reconnect the lines because of the fire risk. A county north of Edmonton has declared a state of agricultural disaster. Westlock County is blaming a drought and a severe grasshopper infestation for that disaster. The county estimates yield production is down 30 to 50% compared to last year. The drought is also forcing farmers to sell their cattle because of poor grass growth. The county says the declaration does not automatically result in additional provincial or federal funding, but it does raise awareness.
We just wanted to advocate on the behalf of our producers to say, we hear you guys, we know things are bad, and we want to advocate to our provincial and federal governments for some sort of assistance if possible, whether that be some tax relief or producer funding to help buy back some feed or lost crop.
Agricultural states of emergency have also been declared in the MD of Greenview and the county of Grand Prairie. Calgary's newest grocery store is now open in Hillhurst. The Frontier Fresh Go opening along Kensington Road near 19th Street in the Northwest. The franchise bills itself on low prices and fresh food. The new store is 10,000 square feet in size. The company believes the neighborhood has been looking for a store like theirs.
We've received already a lot of great feedback. People knocking on the doors. When are you opening? Overall, it's been a great experience.
This is the 7th Fresh Go to be built in Calgary. Let's check out the markets today. The TSX ended the day up 77 points to 27,916. The Dow was slightly lower today, closing at 44,911. The Canadian dollar was down to 72.38 compared to the U.S. dollar. Crude was up more than $1 a barrel to 63.03, and Alberta's Western Canadian Select was up to $1.11 to 51.11. It's a Battle of Alberta at Winsport tonight. The Calgary Surge hosting the Edmonton Stingers. Glenn has a preview for us next. The Calgary Flames have revealed a new look at center ice. A video on X shows crews installing the familiar Flaming C logo in the center circle, but fans will notice a few differences. The C is white. That's an inversion of last season when it was red. And there are now small white flaming Cs all along the center line. Some fans online say they like it. Others say it's going to take some getting used to. Canada's national rugby team took to the field in Red Deer in preparation for an upcoming match with Team USA. Team Canada will face the American team in Calgary on August 22nd. The winner earns direct qualification to the 2027 Men's Rugby World Cup. It is playoff time in the Canadian Elite Basketball League. Glenn is back with us, and Glenn has big battle over at Winsport tonight.
Tara, two of the hottest teams down the stretch face each other in a Western Conference play-in game. The Calgary Surge go up against the Edmonton Stingers. The winner moves on to play the Bandits in Vancouver. It's the Battle of Alberta hardcourt style. The Calgary Surge and Edmonton Stingers were two of the hottest teams in the league down the stretch. The Surge wrapped the season with 4 straight wins. The Stingers won 3 in a row. And now the two teams face each other in a one-game play-in. This will definitely add to the rivalry that's developed between the two.
This honestly was like the first rivalry I learned about in the CBL because we were the first game and it was a game winner. So, but yeah, it's a great rivalry. They're a great team to have a rivalry with. And I feel like it's just a You know, the regular season was the regular season, and now it's just for all the marbles. So
Not much separated Calgary and Edmonton in the regular season. The Stingers got the better of the Surge in the season series, but Calgary clinched second place in the second last game of the season by beating the Stingers. The Surge are hoping the home fans can help lift them over the top.
it's a big advantage. It feels like there's about like 6 players on the court at the same time. So, you know, when you have the crowd on your side, it's obviously a good feeling. It gives you more confidence. And when you go on big runs and stuff like that, it's, you know, it's a good feeling.
There's so much on the line in a single elimination game. Win and you move on to Vancouver. Lose, your season's over. So how do you approach a game like this? What advice do the coaches have for their players?
We have a high standard, you know. We just got to go be us. We got to go play our brand of basketball, our formula, defense to offense, and we just got to play together. And our assistant coaches did a great job installing the game plan all week, so we're ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. You know, we've played good basketball all season long. We've had success against Calgary the last couple times we've seen them. So for us, it's just trying to be consistent in our concepts, trying to be a little bit tighter in our execution, certainly, but not trying to, you know, do anything out of the ordinary or out of character.
And 3 Surge players are finalists for CEBL awards. Miller Moore up for Canadian Player of the Year, and Nelson Jr. will go up against teammate Greg Brown III for Defensive Player of the Year. Well, they'll tee it up for real starting tomorrow in the Rogers Charity Classic. And no doubt, local fans will be cheering on Wes Martin. Martin's a lone Calgarian in the field this year. He got into the Charity Classic by winning the qualifier at Highwood Golf Club in High River on Tuesday. Martin shot a sizzling 9 under 62 to qualify for the tournament that's in his hometown. Martin's dreamed of one day playing in this event since he first got here.
It means a lot. I've been trying. I played this golf game my whole life, and took a big swing at it years ago. And now that I'm 50 again, I'm the young guy, and with this, we're lucky to have this tournament here, and it just gives me that chance to, kind of try again. I'm just going to try to enjoy this. It's hard. I'm nervous, right? So it is what it is, and I'll just enjoy the few days off work.
And Martin tees it up 12:31 on the 10th hole tomorrow. He's paired with David Branson and Felipe Aguilar in the first round.
What a story that would be if he won.
Oh, I mean, it really would.
Can you imagine?
Well, it'd be life-changing for Wes Martin. There's no doubt about it. Go out and cheer him on, though.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, that would be really cool. All right, final peek at the weather, Danielle.
Yeah, let's do this. Okay, so still a good amount of cloud cover for the next couple days. Keep that in mind, but there will be some sunny breaks. The potential for showers in the morning is pretty good, and then some sunny breaks in the afternoon tomorrow. We'll get back into the 20s tomorrow. 24 for Saturday, showers in the morning, sun peaking out in the afternoon, and Sunday, whole lot of sunshine, 25 degrees. So that's definitely an outdoor day. Okay, weather window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, and Alberta's climate. Diane Bach has sent this in from Champion. I believe this was taken today. Just an indication of the clouds in the sky. Yes, we have high pressure, so we're not looking at any crazy active weather, but we'll have cloud cover on and off for the next few days.
Very ominous looking, though, isn't it? Wow, great picture. Thanks for your company tonight. Have a great evening. We'll see you again tomorrow.